Zach Hyman thing, I think, dovetails into Chris Knobloch a little bit because I don't think he had a good playoff.
Blind panic.
Series.
Yeah.
He lost his way coaching that team at some point during the playoffs, and I don't know when it is, but the lineup decisions he would make constantly were questionable, just like moving in and out Skinner, and the scratching of Kapanen made no sense.
That was
Arvidsson, who did nothing.
The goalie controversy, if we want to put a little blame on him too, going back and forth with them and who we wanted to start at any moment. I think Chris Knobloch got out coached, and I think Connor McDavid admitted it.
Yes.
Post game, Connor McDavid said, if you didn't hear it, we were banging our heads against the wall, doing the same thing over and over again. That to me is coaching, because doing the same thing over and over again is structure. That's what you want your team to do. Is you want to play within your structure. You want to go out there and just play your hockey game. Mm-hmm. And I think that's Connor McDavid admitting that Chris Knobloch had them out there doing the same thing that didn't work against the Florida Panthers because they are so good defensively. What the Oilers were trying to do wasn't working, and Chris Knobloch told them just keep going and trying.
Yeah, but here's the thing: that's his pick for coach.
Well,
that is his
sure,
OHL coach.
Maybe now it's like he's not backing his decision anymore. Maybe now we have evidence that Chris Knobloch got out coached and he wasn't a very good coach in this series.
I'll say two things. One, in defense of Chris Knobloch, there's no line combination with the men they had that would have done anything. Mm-hmm. It wouldn't have mattered.
I think they lose anyway.
They lose anyway. Trent Fredericks on your third line.
It's the goalie thing. It didn't help, or that you had those goalies. I don't think you win anyways, but it doesn't mean you shouldn't fix it.
The Panthers are the deepest team of this generation. Marchand, Lundell, Lusterinen on your third line. Go to prison. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. They had two first lines, a second line, and a fourth.
The guy who scored 4 goals last night makes $8.6 million.
Yeah. And 2 top pairs.
And was nominated for the Selke. Just throwing that out there.
It's disgusting.
Yeah.
The other thing I will say...
You don't win with better coaching because you're not beating these Florida Panthers. You get closer.
Yeah.
Same thing with the goalie situation.
I'll say more than anything that happened yesterday, that Connor McDavid quote is what sends a shiver down my spine if I'm an Oilers fan. Mm-hmm. That was bad.
The question I would have, Steve, is, okay, if it would send a shiver down an Oilers fan's spine, why?
Your superstar, the best player in the world, who is eligible for a contract extension as of noon on July 1st.
I'm sorry, pipe down.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Sorry. Second best to every Penguin. If Connor McDavid...
He's no Brian Rust.
Was Brian Rust... It's the name, right?
It is.
It's a great name.
It is.
That's why we both thought the same thing.
Yeah.
Same wavelength.
Yes.
High five for Brian Rust. Anyway, if Connor McDavid was anything like Brian Rust, they'd be fine. Listen, your superstar, who's the best player in the world, who's eligible for a contract extension noon on July 1st, is unhappy. Now, there are levels to unhappiness. There's, I'm unhappy right now. In the moment, I just lost the Stanley Cup for the second straight year. I'm unhappy about that. He was the only Oiler I saw answer any questions. Was he the only one?
No. Draisaitl and Ekholm did.
Oh, okay. I didn't.
I got a bunch of their quotes.
Oh, okay. I didn't look particularly hard. It's just I was up
clearly.
I was up till 3 bloody last night, and then I came here. But sometimes you say things that your friends or coworkers or teammates might forgive you for, but they'll never really forget.
Too many passengers? That's a Matthews quote after they got eliminated.
You know what would have been a great follow-up question? Who? This team's going to bring back a lot of the same players. Who are the passengers, Austin? Connor, same thing. We're trying the same thing over and over and over and over. How am I supposed to interpret that as anything but an indictment of Chris Knobloch?
Well, what did Nathan McKinnon say after Game 7 against Dallas this year? It was sort of like, I don't know what we're going to do, but we can't. Mm-hmm. It was sort of like, and then Joe Sakic immediately is like, we're bringing everybody back, and then signed Brock Nelson, and who didn't have the best first round, and
we might do this later, but the Tage Thompson quote,
we'll get to that.
Yeah, we'll get to it. Yeah, but like, it's a cry for help. And sometimes you say things in the heat of the moment, but I'd take Connor McDavid at his word.
Would you fire Chris Knobloch?
No.
No.
He's 2 years in a row he's been in the Cup final. I don't think you can fire him for that, but he has been.
Even Jay Woodcroft was rough. Like, his win percentage was insane.
Yep. Yeah, it was.
Firing Chris Knobloch would be far more unjustifiable. I mean, if Chris Knobloch's job...
goaltending first. I think you got to switch the goaltending first. I think you got to.
There's clear evidence that he got out coached and he didn't really know what he was doing come the end of the finals. And like the Pete DeBoer situation, like, I don't care how much you almost win. If you don't get it done, you're not the right guy.
Well, Pete DeBoer's available. Do you go get Pete DeBoer and have him bench Connor McDavid?
I think that would be
to prove the Western Conference Final.
That would be lunacy. Lunacy.
Yeah.
I'm kidding, by the way. I don't think any of that's going to happen.
Yeah,
Knobloch's going to be fine.
Yeah. I mean, geez, if he's not safe, who the hell is?
Yep.
But it was definitely
here's some
a cry for help, I think, from Connor.
Here's some of the other quotes that Connor gave. He said, their forecheck was great. They tilted the rink. They were able to stay on top of us all over the place, and we really were never able to generate any momentum up the ice. Yep. We kept trying the same thing over and over again, banging our heads against the wall. They have great players. How many guys had 20-plus points this postseason? 6? That's what he said. They're as deep as it comes. And I don't know if you guys want me to. I've got Leon's as well.
Sure.
We battled, but we're not leaving here as winners. They were just better, just deeper. I mean, the third line scored how many goals? Which was 8. It wasn't their top 2 lines. The third line did a lot of their damage. We saw that in the Leafs series. They just ate the Leafs alive.
Killed them.
That third line is as good as any second line in this league. And you could argue like Lindell could be the first line center on like 20 teams in this league.
I said it before. I'll say it again. Leafs are up 2-0 on the Florida Panthers. Matthews is straight up one-on-one beating Alex Barkov. Game 3, Leafs go up. It's Matthews and Barkov again. He's eating his lunch again. They swap Barkov and Lindell. Series is over. Mm-hmm. They win 4 of the next 5. Kill them.
Mm-hmm. And
the dude's incredible. It's crazy that he's 23 years old. It's crazy that he went on this playoff run as a third liner. It's crazy that he's locked up long term
till 2030.
It's ridiculous the luxury they have with Lindell.
The Panthers have never ended a season with Anton Lindell without winning a team trophy. President's Trophy, Eastern Conference, Stanley Cup.
This stat I'm about to give you is the reason why I believe the Oilers need to go further than just replacing Cal Pickard next year.
Okay.
The Panthers led the series 255 and 49 seconds, 255 minutes and 49 seconds. The Oilers led it 33 minutes, almost 34, 33:51.
I'm surprised it was that much.
I don't think... Florida took control of every game from the first period. They outscored Edmonton 10-0.
What?
In 4 of those opening frames. So basically, that's a quote from a Spec article. But 10-0 in 4 of 6 games in the first period is friggin'. How do you do that?
It's a slightly cherry pick stat, but it's crazy.
I don't mind
in
that.
In 4
out
of the 6 games, like what?
What happened to the other 2?
Well,
what's their record in games they lost?
How many guys? I think. Listen. Far be it from me, but I think Spec's onto something there.
Yes,
because they lost 4 games in the series.
So if you just took the score from the first period in every game this series, it would make the same point. But there was no need for him to.
Yes, thank you.
It was,
but 10-0's so much cleaner.
No, but it was so widely lopsided in the first period. Just take that number. It actually would be more impactful because it'd be the whole series.
Right.
Connor McDavid has never scored on a shift where he was scored on. Until he improves that stat, the Oilers are going to keep losing.
I want to talk about Sam Bennett winning the Conn Smythe. 11 first place votes out of the 18 voters. And
Marchand was pretty close.
Yeah, Marchand was pretty good. I'll give you the full vote breakdown. So it was Sam Bennett got 76 points in terms of the votes. So 11 first place, 7 second place, 0 third place. Marchand got 7 first place votes, 11 second place, 0 third place. Bobrovsky had 10 third place votes. Draisaitl got 7. Forsling got 1 third place vote.
Okay. Forsling, who I don't think had the greatest playoff, had a very good final.
And people are upset that
shut down Connor McDavid.
People are upset that Barkov didn't get any votes. I'm like, I don't know if you were watching the series or not, but he was not at his best.
That's purely name brand.
Yeah, 100%.
And like, he wasn't bad, but no, he was playing hurt all playoff.
He had to glue his hand shut after game one, which is kind of nuts. That's all come out.
Yeah, and he got friggin' drilled in the first round. Like, no, all playoff long. I think, like, are we all in agreement that this year's Panthers are clearly better than last year?
Yes, of course.